Hey guys! Welcome back to Didi's Mediterranean Kitchen. Today we're going to be making meat and rice stuffed grape leaves. They're great little grape leaves that are stuffed with meat and rice, and they're lemony and they're so flavorful. Today I'm going to show you how to make it. Now remember, if you want to get this recipe or any of my other recipes, go to my website at didimed.com. Don't forget to join my Twitter and join my social network. That way we can always keep in contact, and if you have any questions you could always ask me. Let's go over the ingredients. We're going to need 1 pound of ground beef or ground lamb. Some people like to use lamb. I like to use beef. 1 pound, I only have 5% fat. It's very lean. I have 1 cup of white long grain rice that I soaked in water, rinsed off the extra starch for about 2 minutes. I poured off the excess water. I have a couple of strips of just thinly sliced steak. I have 2 tablespoons of butter, I have a tablespoon of garlic, I have a ½ cup of lemon juice, and of course, grape leaves. Now the stuffing is very easy to put together. You just have to mix some of the ingredients and then get to stuffing. So I'm going to put the beef in a plate, then the rice, and then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, and we're going to add just a little bit of black pepper. Put our butter in here. Butter helps keep it moist. Add our garlic. Everybody loves garlic and it adds great flavor to this dish. Now some people like to cook this in a tomato sauce. I like to cook it in just a broth and a lemon juice. So just a little bit of black pepper. 1 teaspoon. And just like that, we're just going to mix it up. It's okay to use your hand. Just make sure your hands are clean. Keep your nails short. Just like that. See how it nicely mixes together? Make sure you mix the garlic well. You don't want any chunks of garlic in here. Now if you end up with some leftover stuffing after you stuff the grape leaves, you can always put it in an airtight container or in a Ziploc bag and freeze it. It stays good for, I would say, about a month. And then you can just go buy some more grape leaves and make it. Now I also want to tell you the grape leaves. Some people like to use fresh grape leaves. Some people like to use jarred grape leaves. Either way, I use jarred grape leaves, and what I do is I pour off the juice that is in the jar and I rinse off the grape leaves and I put them in a pot. I fill it with water to the brim, and then I let them boil on low heat for about 30 to 40 minutes. After that, I pour off the water and I put them in a strainer and I let them drain. If you want to use fresh grape leaves, you're pretty much going to do the same thing. You want to cut down the stem so that it's really short. Rinse them off really well. Put them in a pot with some water. Add a little bit of salt, maybe about a teaspoon or so of salt, and let them boil maybe for about 45 minutes. Again, pour off the water and then let them drain, and then you can use them. I know my mom likes to use fresh grape leaves. And if you use fresh grape leaves, you could also freeze them for a later time, because I know, they come during the summertime. You can just gather them all up, rinse them off. You can either freeze them before you boil them or boil them and then freeze them. Either way, it all works great. So look at the mixture. It's well mixed, and you can even smell the garlic. It smells so good. Now I'm going to show you how to roll it all up. Now the jarred grape leaves, they come just like that, and they have a little stem on them. I cut off the little stem. You don't want to leave any stem on your grape leaves. So you just like that. Now you want a nice decent sized pot. This one is a 3-quart pot, and this is good for a 16-ounce jar. Maybe a little bit smaller. You can use a bigger one for a 16-ounce jar. And you want to line the bottom of the pot with 2 or 3 grape leaves. Let me get another one in here, because you don't want your rolled grape leaves to stick to the bottom. So see, just like that. And then you get the strips of steak and you put that on the bottom. You want to make sure your steak has a little bit of fat in it. So just like that. See? And the steak will also keep it moist. It'll add flavor to the broth, and it'll keep it from sticking. So let's put this aside. get to rolling these. So you get your grape leaf, cut off the stem. Now if the leaf is too big, this one, you can split this in half or you can leave it as is. Let me show you how to split it in half. You're going to cut it down the center vein. So just like that, cut down the center vein and you end up with 2 grape leaves. I'm going to show you how to roll these, and then I'm going to show you how to roll just a straight leaf. And you want to use about a tablespoon of filling because remember the rice expands. So just like that. Do it again on this one. Just like that. See? What you do is you fold over the edge like that and then hold it together. You're going to use all your fingers and you're just going to roll it as tight as you can. So see? Put that one aside. Let's do this one again. Fold over the sides. Sometimes they don't all fold over together. Just fold them over. Just like that. Use all of your fingers and as tight as possible. There you go. Now let's do a whole leaf. Cut off the stem. Just like that. This one's going to be a little bit longer than the other ones. See? Fold over the edge. Fold over the bottom. Twist tight, 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 tight. Just like that. See how pretty that is? And when you get these, get your pot and you want to line them. So see, I'll line these straight down like that, straight down like that, and then the next layer I'll rotate it a little and then line them up again. And you just keep rotating, rotating, rotating until you fill it up. Don't fill it all the way to the top. I would say fill it 3/4 way because the grape leaves are going to expand. So you want to do 3/4 way. So you just repeat all the grape leaves until you're done. I have some that I've already pre-made because I want to show you the finished product. Okay, so here's my jar. I rolled about half a jar earlier. I'm going to take the plate off on top. Let me explain something. After you've rolled the grape leaves, you want to put a small plate, one that's smaller than the circumference, on top. This will help keep them in place. What I do is I'll put the plate on top and I'm going to pour in probably about 4 or 5 cups of water. You want water to just barely cover the plate. Not completely cover the plate, but just a little bit cover the plate. You're going to add about a teaspoon of salt to that. So you've added the water, you've added the salt, you've put your plate on top, and on top of this I usually put a can, a heavy can. You want to put a heavy weight on top of this. You put it on medium heat and you want to let it cook for about 40 minutes on medium heat. After it's cooked for 40 minutes, you're going to add the lemon juice. Add your half cup of lemon juice, let it go. You can take the can off at that point after you've added the lemon juice, and you can add a dish or a cover on top to keep it covered, just like that. You cook it for another 40 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes. Let it sit for 15 minutes after the 45 minutes. So let's go over this again. 40 minutes with the water and the salt and the can on top to hold them in place. After 40 minutes, take the can off, add a half cup of lemon juice and cover it with a plate or with the lid. Let it cook another 40 minutes and then let it sit for 15 minutes. After you've let it sit for 15 minutes, this is what you get. Take the plate off. See how nice they are? And they've gotten bigger. Let's take some out. They smell absolutely amazing. See how nice and firm they are? They're not loose. The rice is not falling out. This is exactly what you want. And you can take the meat out after you've plated it all up, and you can put the meat on the side as well. Look how pretty that is. See how they're nicely rolled? See how I rolled them in lines and then I rotated every layer. Now this goes great with yogurt and pita bread. You can make a grape leaf sandwich. You can just eat it with the yogurt if you want to go a little bit low on the carbs. It's a very filling meal. You're going to love it. It's really easy to put together. The only thing that takes time is rolling the grape leaves. It shouldn't take you too long. It's very enjoyable. Your family's going to love it. You're going to love it. go to my website, ddmed.com, get this recipe, send me emails, send me questions, and join me again for Dee's Mediterranean Kitchen. Mmm, so good.